come to order. It is July 17th at 5 p.m. and we are going to continue our meeting from July 15th. President of the County Report are Brian Carlisle, Kurt Giles, Ed Lovell, Cindy Grant. Start with the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We have one agenda adjustment. We're going to talk about a culvert, but we'll move that down.
That's fine.
We'll get right into the bids. After looking at them, it's mainly a cost issue for me. And they were pretty close. I believe Patriot came in $43,181.60 more over the 3-year period. Brian, you're
I agree. It's all about the dollars, I guess. But
yeah, I mean, we were happy with one, and they did a good job in the past, so. We just do a vote, Cindy? Alright, so we're gonna vote on accepting the Wellman paving bid for the 3-year period of $814,438.40.
second.
All in favor? 2-0. It passes. I appreciate you putting in that.
Yeah, no problem.
Thank you very much.
Yep.
It's all about just the
No, I get
dollars
it.
and cents.
Absolutely. Cool. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Alright, so we set another meeting, set a meeting for the special town meeting discussion. That's July
So-
29th.
Tomorrow is the school vote,
Yep.
and we have, an option of, we have some, items that we need, and if we hold off tax commitment until the 1st of August and go to a special town meeting, then we can raise and appropriate instead of take it from fund balance,
Okay.
these issues. I do have a sample if you want, but,
Yeah.
What happens if the school vote doesn't pass again? They're gonna have to modify it out for a vote again. How do we do our taxes?
we're gonna have to do it with last year's number, and if they finally get a budget passed, we'll have to go to special town meeting to take it out of fund balance.
Great. That's kinda crazy. We have to go with last year's number and not what their proposed number of refund.
So,
That's terrible.
so my question is studying these numbers as I see them, why, I know there's a reason, but I'm not sure why the reason is that Newburgh was the lowest out of even below Frankfort.
What do you mean?
On the,
No, go ahead.
I'll bring up the picture of the thing so
Okay.
I know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, no. And
The flyer they sent out.
yeah, and the rebate
We
and
don't
the
get those
refund.
flyers here for some reason.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, no kidding.
We good?
I kinda laughed.
Did you
'cause-
get it?
Yeah.
I didn't get one.
You didn't?
You did?
No.
Yeah, just like the one that
When
he
you were
had.
talking, I thought that came home with the school kids.
No, I had one in my,
Don't.
We got
See that? Oh,
So-
I just find that strange. Same reason that some people get the town cry and some people don't.
Yeah.
They're still Newburgh, but and the thing is
I didn't
that,
take a picture of their side with the information.
Oh, you
on it.
didn't?
No, of course not. Of course
oh,
not.
yeah.
We were
no.
$6,500 and some odd dollars less of a tax commitment with what they wanna go with than last year, and everybody else, Frankfurt was like 20,
Yeah, it was
30,000.
ours was 3,000.
6,000.
It was 6?
Yeah, 6,500.
Yeah, and I mean, I can run home and get it real quick. but-
Valuation
Right.
has to do with our valuation.
And Winnipeg was like an astronomical
Yeah,
number.
they have a lot more people, a lot more businesses, so
Yeah.
they pay a lot more than we do.
Winnipeg and Hamden are the big contributors to that budget.
But I was just amazed at the Frankfurt and compared to Newburgh number. because, Frankfort's tax base cannot be,
I would think so.
how could it be?
What do you
I mean,
mean?
As far as like, this business wise, you know what I'm saying? Because that's where your valuation comes from, correct? I mean, it's,
Well,
as,
it has to do, because
As a
we
whole.
have increased our value across the board for the last 4 years.
Mhm.
Some of those towns haven't. Frankfurt, I don't think you'll find has. Winnipeg, I believe has. Because,
Cause I feel like Winterport was like $200,000 less or something.
Yeah.
It was an astronomical number.
I mean, maybe I should run home and grab
I
one
know
real quick,
Camden
but I just
didn't
didn't
do it
understand.
until last year,
Yeah,
and now they're working on a reevaluation.
yeah.
I think
didn't
Frankfurt
understand
was
the numbers.
19,000 or 23,000 less than
And I
it
believe you're
was
gonna find it
last year.
because they haven't bumped up their valuation.
And that's
That
why
was
they're
why
getting,
ours had increased,
and that's why they're getting the credit back that they're getting.
yes,
Yeah, I just didn't understand.
yeah.
Yeah, it seemed like an odd thing to me too.
Yeah.
I understand the Winterport and the Hammond, but
Correct.
Are you
Frankfurt,
seeing
I
they're
think,
getting a bigger,
Amount than we
they're
are,
paying
Yes.
less than
yeah.
Yeah,
what they paid last year, a substantial number higher than what ours is.
yeah, refund or rebate or whatever, however they word it, but yes. Credit, the credit.
You're welcome for giving you your money back in a
Yeah,
way that's just gonna hurt you.
yeah, no kidding.
Appreciate it.
And again, just like you said, the 2.5 jobs, but the increase is 1.2 million.
Yeah.
It's like, this doesn't, yeah.
Plus $500,000 in benefits is going up.
Alright.
Yeah.
Yeah, how's that?
Well, the numbers that I told you about, so I asked for a, summary of expenses and for the end of May, and then I asked for it for the end of June. Just in Article 1, the end of May, they had like 1.2 left in that article, and at the end of June, they were in the whole 700 and some odd thousand dollars.
How can that even be?
Nobody been shopping.
What the
All the
heck
new
are they
gym
buying?
equipment, all the new gym equipment showed up a couple days ago.
What was, I mean, was the other stuff?
Track's
Going
been,
out?
track's been refinished. They got almost all new equipment for the gym. You know, treadmills, stair climbers.
But that's only one part of it, you know what I mean? That's only one part of the budget.
I
though.
couldn't tell you, I didn't get the detail to find out what they had bought, but I just got a summary to see. And
Shifty business.
Oh, yeah.
so they're not gonna have no $1.8 million
Oh,
to dump in the fund balance, I can tell you that.
You know, that wish list is coming to fruition.
Yeah,
Apparently,
yeah.
that's sad, really.
Mhm.
They were planning on doing it anyway.
So
Nothing we
are-
can do about it.
And they just found a way to do it.
Are you guys available to meet on the 29th? That's a date, it's a Monday at 6. I know it's hard for some to do this 5 o'clock, so
Oh, on a Monday at 5?
6,
Oh, yeah, 6 is better than 5.
I know.
5's kind of pushing it. Just saying.
But I'd just like to get because if we can get this done and discuss whether you wanna do it by ballot or by open meeting, you know, that sort of thing has to be decided to know our timeline.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Brian?
Yeah.
Okay.
29th at 6.
Yes. And that's what we'll do. We're just gonna do this. It shouldn't take long.
Alright. Now, we're back to the mowing bill. I don't feel comfortable having an executive session to talk about somebody that is the other part of this whole issue. Like, I don't see why we all can't just have a talk about it.
It's up to you. I put it on there to cover us.
How do you guys feel about it?
Yeah, because I don't think it's gonna be any different than it was after Brent left.
It's always he said, she said
Right,
shit, and
'cause-
if the other person's not here to talk, then it's
Right.
just what she said.
Just like after you left, Brent, we talked to Kylie about it, and
Yep.
then she, you know what I mean, you could see the light bulb went off, and then she kinda got the gist of it. Yeah, I'm good with that.
Right?
Yeah, no, that's fine.
Okay, my opinion on the whole matter is, I mean, you gotta do it the right way. Obviously, we talked about that, right? Because you are the chief and it is your budget, so it has to go be cleared over you, just because of that fact. You know, you wanna read this out loud, Cindy? Or what do you want me to do?
Again.
Yep.
So,
Yeah.
what I wrote was, this is the third time this has happened, am I not mistaken? Third year in a row. The first time it happened, I approved the payment, and I explained to Brent, even though it was wrong, because I believe it was done innocently, because the chief was new at his position and had never been a chief before and was just learning the ropes. I explained to him at that time that this could not happen again. It was an ethic violation of the highest type. It violated policies of the town of Newburgh. Last year it became an issue again, and I gave the chief the contact information for the company that does our mowing for the cemeteries at that time. The field either never got mowed or someone did it as a donation because we never received the bill. So here we are this year, and it has come about again. The chief submitted the bill while I was on vacation and never once has come to me about a payment. He goes to the office staff instead. So then it comes down to the board, for payment, because he knows that if he comes to me, I will tell him, no, it is not going to get paid for the reasons I gave him the first time it happened.
Repeat that,
Repeat what?
what you just said on the last part of it.
So here we are, it has come about again. The chief submitted the bill while I was on vacation
What name is it in?
and never, no, we're not going there.
Oh, we
Never
are.
once has come
We
to
are.
me about payment. He goes to the office staff instead.
You're incorrect.
So then he comes to the board for payment because he knows that if it comes to me, I'll tell him, no, it's not going to get paid for the reasons I gave you the first time it happened. I believe that if the board approves the payment of this bill, it will set the town back 20 years, back to the days of old when select board members and office staff hired husbands, sons, and other family to work for the town, which was not fair or right at that time either. The town paid thousands of dollars to attorneys to draft these policies for the town to protect it from this and other things back when the fraud took place. I'm expected to enforce these policies with the staff that I hire and manage. I cannot do that if the employees know they can make a decision based on these policies that they don't like. They can come to the board and they will overturn my decision. It makes my job impossible to do, and it leaves me wide open to criticism by the taxpayers and others. On top of that, if this is allowed to happen, there are certain people that love to highlight these types of actions on social media, and I would just as soon not be the recipient of that kind of treatment if I can avoid it. This is what our personnel policy says. The employees are prohibited from engaging in conduct which could reflect unfavorably upon the town to disrupt the efficient operations of the administration of the town. The town employees must avoid any action which might result in or create the impression of using public employment for private gain, giving preferential treatment to any person, or losing complete impartiality in conducting town business.
Did we not submit a bill for this last year?
No.
Who did it? We didn't do it last year?
Nope.
So there's 3 years that this has happened? So this 2. So where are you coming up with 3?
So year before last was his first year.
Okay.
And he did it, he submitted the bill, I agreed to pay it, but I explained that we couldn't do this because now that he was chief, it wasn't allowed. It was wrong, it was ethically wrong, and we couldn't do it anymore, but I paid it, because I figured it was done innocently. Last year it came about, and it came about when I wasn't here, and I believe you ran the bill up to Katie. I gave Brent the information for the guy that does our mowing, And I never heard any more about it. And then this year, he went ahead and did it and submitted a bill.
Believing that it was supposed to come out of another account, so you're gonna go like a legal wise on him, even though he's the fire chief, he's, aside from you and the three of you, he's the next in command of this fucking town, and you're gonna do this to him? When we discussed this the other day, that he is here 24/7. It is disgusting, Cindy. It is so disgusting. He is here for you, me. I mean, come on, everybody. I understand that he did wrong, and he admitted it. We talked about it. He did do wrong, very wrong. I mean, this wrong, little, okay? He did what needed to be done, but he didn't go about it the right way, and he admitted it.
So tell me this, if this gets paid and goes about, what's to say that the rest of the employees don't do this?
You know what? Don't pay the bill. Don't pay the bill. It's that easy. It's a donation. It is a donation. Brent, are you okay with it?
That's what you want anyway, so
I'm done with that. It's a donation, guys. Okay?
I don't ever
Because
wanna
I'm
hear me be
extremely-
a clean, ever. Don't you ever accuse me of doing anything illegal, ever.
This
I hear
is
him out
just
again.
so upsetting because he
Ever.
does so much. And I know that he, by
I'll
the
have
policy,
my lawyer
did
here
wrong.
tomorrow.
No.
I
By,
will.
he did wrong by that, but
You
you
guys
guys
didn't
are new
do a damn
to it.
thing to change this.
Oh,
None of it.
You sit right here, Brent.
No,
need to
I'm not gonna
stay,
sit here
Brent.
because I'm not gonna deal with this. She just sat right there and accused me of doing illegal.
Again.
You-
I
you
may have done
realize
something
I have to
unethical.
let her read this.
You need to
Unethical,
stay.
but it wasn't illegal.
Exactly. Sit back down. Yeah.
You need to
We're
stay.
reading this. We haven't even said a word yet.
Just sit for a minute. So you guys are obviously new to it. So am I. I want to learn something. And you guys need to learn too. He's not new to it, but everybody learns something every day, including yourself probably.
Mhm.
So with that being said, you said the other night, and you did, that you guys have a lot to learn.
Mhm.
Rightfully
For sure.
so.
Correct.
I'm for it. And as I told him, you deserve your chances. But when you do get that all in writing, and everybody has to follow that, including Cindy, including everybody, then that's what it is. And then it will be what it will be. But if it has to fall for him, it has to fall for her. Whether she's a town manager or the fucking president of the United States, everybody has to follow the policy,
Agreed.
right?
That's not part of it.
So it's very simple. I mean, it can be very simple, but this isn't the first time. You guys are new to everything here, not the town obviously, but you're new to this. So he has to give you the chance to learn the policy, the ways, and he is frustrated because nothing has happened yet, and it can't until you are able to learn. There's a lot you need to learn.
Right.
But if you can't have the time to get it in, I don't even know what to say. You have,
Right. I understand you're frustrated. I do, and I totally get why, and I understand why she's frustrated. Because the way it comes out, and I have an easy way to fix this. I will cut you a check tomorrow, personal check, because it has nothing to do with this. Because she's right. We're gonna get our ass chewed because somebody's gonna be pissed about it, because somebody's gonna make a point out of it.
Let me ask a question. Cindy, in the last 3 years that supposedly I've submitted a bill, has there been one thing said by anybody in this town that you paid me for mowing?
I paid you the first year.
Did anybody say anything?
No.
Goddamn right. Nobody knew nothing. Nobody saw, nobody cares. The only one that does is you. You're the only one that cares about $175. Go find somebody else. Go get your little Rob to go do it and watch what the bill becomes. I did it as a
100%.
favor.
I agree that it was a very reasonable price. I wouldn't take my tractor off a trailer for that much
You're
money.
damn straight.
I concur.
So I weren't doing it to be fucking evil. I wasn't doing it to fucking test my luck of going to jail. I was doing it for the fire department and the town. And that's all. And it was done in her name because she owns the fucking tractor. I don't own it. So everything is in her. But I keep getting this right here pointed at me. And that's incorrect, because it's not on me. It don't matter who's sitting in the fucking seat of that thing. I can go get anybody I want to drive my tractor, and it can be fucking done, and a job can be done, and it's still mine, right? It's still my tractor. If it's her tractor, she can have anybody she wants drive it. it's still her tractor. So I told her, I'll go do it. It ain't a big deal. I will go do it. It'll take me an hour, maybe an hour and a half at the most. I went down and did it. The bill was put in. It was not done maliciously because you were on vacation, and it wasn't done secretly. It was done with a fucking bill. You guys have all seen it. It was slid right to fucking Katie and said, could you please give this to Cindy when she comes in?
But the point of the whole thing is, Brent, and I didn't realize it until I realized it, as we're talking about learning, is that you approving it is different than Cindy approving it. I know, but if you would've said to Cindy, I wanna have KB cleaning, mow our area, is that okay if that happens? And she would've said yes, then
No, she wouldn't have.
But I'm just
I'm
saying.
just making a point. And I didn't do it because she would have said no. I thought that we were doing it the right way by completely taking my name off it. I don't know what you guys, how you feel, but I couldn't have done it any more than what I've done to keep it separate of Brent Summers or fire chief or the town employee. She doesn't work for this town, so
We're
there
on
is
fire
nothing.
chief number 4 right now, if you
Right.
guys recall, fire
But-
chief number 4.
But the easiest way about it would have been by you not approving it, by you not being the one that,
Yes, and I understand that,
instigated
but I
it.
messed up by me putting the 05/05/30/80 down as where I wanted the money to come out of.
Okay.
I completely understand that.
All right.
That was
Okay.
on the training
All right.
but I thought because it was fire department budgetary money and I could run the budget up to X amount of dollars, I didn't realize that that would be a conflict with it being in her name,
yep,
not
because,
my name.
but it's because of town policy.
Right.
Because if
But
you
she's
would,
not an employee.
But you
that,
You see what I'm saying? I looked at it, and did I not say that to
I
you?
do, but-
Before I did it, I just said to her,
but that's not what but that's not how the policy reads.
right,
You know
because
what
I
I'm
went
saying?
ahead and approved it, or whatever, however you guys wanna call it.
Right.
That I completely understand.
It's on the
That's
same
fine.
page as she can approve certain
But-
things of hers, but she can't approve certain things without.
But I'm
you
just
guys.
telling you that I'm
Right.
not gonna stand here and get terminology and get accusational wording of illegal.
I didn't say illegal
Well, it's not really
one
illegal,
time in
it's
here.
just against town policy.
It's against town policy. It's my job to make sure that I.
Where's the paper you hauled out after I left the other night and wanted to give a
This one?
definition
The
of?
nepotism one?
There you go, there's
Well,
the
that
word.
isn't, in there was, you read off, it is illegal, that what Brent did was
It's-
illegal. But you were
It's
prepared,
unethical.
but you were prepared with that letter, so you had knowledge that this was gonna obviously come up.
Right.
You knew
I
it.
explained to you the first time it happened, when I paid the first bill, why it couldn't happen again. Did I not?
The very first one, yes.
Yes, I did.
But again, I went completely and did it differently so that it didn't throw anything under the bus
No,
in
you
front
did
of
it
you.
the same. The bill came in her name. It was first her name, Realtor Cleaning. And the
Because
policy
it's a
says
business.
that you can't do that.
Like I said, consider this a donation from KB Cleaning, am I okay to say that?
It's fine by me, I don't.
You've been donated possibly for a second time.
Well, this can,
So,
it's done.
Cindy,
And-
if he would have, I'm trying to sort all this in, I'm a processor, and this is gonna get a process quick. If he would have called Rob and had Rob do it, would that have been a
That'd have
different
been fine.
scenario?
That'd have been fine.
And it's because of what the town policy says,
Yes.
that you just can't hire your own.
Yeah,
Do
that's
you-
fine.
Do you remember the
Next
permit
next
issue
year,
with Mike Burns?
you won't have to worry about me.
Again, because Brent was
You went-
involved, but however, it's still my house.
Right, but what happens when he gets a hold of him and the other guy, Lloyd or whatever his name
What are
is?
we talking
I
about?
mean, we don't need
She's
that.
talking about
Your buddy
about
Burns.
Mike Law,
Your buddy Mike Burns.
What about him?
She's talking about the
About
bullshit
him
that
getting
he
wind of
called.
this.
She doesn't want him to get a hold of this and cause another rift.
It's been donated. Throw it in the fucking garbage, throw it in the trash. Everything is done. Brian, you're standing there staring at me like you're disappointed beyond belief.
I am.
And I'm really sad that you're looking at me that way, because I would not expect that from you on this, I guess.
Well, I'm pretty insulted with the attitude that you had towards us and
It's not you
particularly
guys.
with me,
It's
that,
not
you know,
attitude.
It's not-
we've had a lot of talks.
It's
And I
not
think you're
anything with attitude to you
I
guys.
think you're forgetting the conversation we had 2 years ago, cause you were upset the same way.
I think he's
You and I spoke
upset.
about this.
This is how he expresses his upsetness. He's not upset with you. He's expressed
Not
that to you
at all.
multiple times.
I'm not upset with you one bit. Did I not tell you I was fine with the select board the other night, 100%? I didn't come at you because you were busy and I was waiting for you to do your thing. I had absolutely no hard feelings with the three of you whatsoever, and I told him that. I walked out of here and told you before I left, there was no hard feelings to the board, did I not?
Yes, you did.
Absolutely no hard feelings. If you would have called me that night, I'd have sat right down and talked to you, I'd have come up to your house and had a coffee, and I would have sat and laughed and joked on your porch. I would not have had a problem whatsoever.
Not the way you left, you wouldn't.
Yes, sir, I would have. Would I not have? Because what did I say?
No, because nobody could reach you.
I was expecting, of all the three, I expected you to call me. Did I not say that, Kylie, the other night? I said Brian will be calling me, I guarantee it. Because he's gonna wanna know why, or he's gonna know what, or he's gonna know where do I stand.
As far as I'm concerned, I don't think anybody on the board or anybody in this town thinks you intentionally try to do anything shady or anything like that. You're well respected, everybody loves you. It's not a thing like that at all.
Yes.
It just doesn't stop. There's always something, always, always,
And it's
always.
hard because you do so much for us.
The last time there was a rift between Brent and Cindy, and it seemed like it became town and then it became personal. If I correct me if I'm wrong, because from what I understand, you wouldn't even talk to Brent when he'd come in here. So he couldn't
Oh, yeah,
he couldn't
you
even
did.
hand you anything, so he was handing anything he had to Katie.
And
But Katie wants to be
And I don't
involved,
understand
so-
why giving it to Katie on a week when you're on vacation becomes part of your little write-up, because if Katie is the only one here, she's going to receive the payments, the bills, anything from fire or me. It don't matter what I'm walking in here for, so that's absurd. And that little extra stuff like that,
But did you come in a second time after you handed the bill in and go to Katie and ask them when it was gonna get paid?
I most certainly did, you weren't here.
It was 2 weeks later.
2 weeks later, and I simply said, hi.
Hello.
Hi, John.
And I simply said, did the bill get put through for the warrant for the payout? And Katie said, no. And I said, may I ask why? She said, and I quote, you'll have to go see Cindy about that because she's not approving it. And I said, okay. So I waited 2 more weeks out of decency, and then it got to be 1 month. So then I came in the other night and I said, where is Kylie's check? And again, I got told it didn't get put through on the warrant for the second time. And I said, so obviously it's not going to get paid.
But knowing that you weren't gonna approve it, could you have?
So, and so
Yes.
I'm not trying to throw a letter blinker on or get.
Oh, no,
try-
no, no, no,
try to
no, no,
finish
no,
up,
no.
but something has been bothering me because I'm your friend, and I wanna tell you something. So, the other night, when we were,
What was?
after you left, we were talking, and it was about, you being wound up on weekends
No.
because of text messages from Thursday. When you get a text message about, I wanna see you on Monday,
Oh, yes, yes, yes.
right? So, my view of that is that now, at first, because I totally understand, it'd be like, without an explanation, but after this has happened, maybe a half a dozen times, because a Monday is a normal day, correct? That you guys usually get together to talk about.
If she requests it,
Right,
not any other reason. I mean, she has to ask.
so instead of kicking the cat all weekend, because you got a text message on Thursday about her wanting to see you on Monday, just keep that in the back of your mind, that she wants to talk to you about your business on Monday, everything that's going on in the past week or 2 weeks, however often that it happens, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because I don't
But I
want,
can also tell you, and not to interrupt, but just so that you understand that part, in terms of that payment factor, there was not one message sent out from her to me to say, this is not going to get paid, this has not been done right, this is not, just so you understand, if you wanna make it a one-way highway, we're gonna make it a two, right?
Yeah.
I'm not driving down an old dirt road, man, we're gonna be on the highway, 2 lanes,
Can I say something?
so,
This text message you're speaking of, how often does that happen?
with what?
Wanting to meet on Monday,
Whenever you have
I
something on
think have it once.
Thursdays,
and you asked me for details, and I said it wasn't nothing serious, I just needed to show you something.
And
Do I
I
want-
used that day because he had thrown that
But
at
that's
me
the
at one
only
point,
time
but-
it's happened.
that's, yes, oh, I don't know if that's the only time, because I get a lot of
It's
text
not like it
messages from you.
happens every week.
But that's just an example that I had said to her. When you get something Thursday at 4 o'clock, when they're getting ready to walk out the door, and you get a, hey, I need to see you on Monday morning about something. And then you say, well, what? We'll talk about it then, you know, that kind of thing. You got 4 days now to sit on that and go, now what the hell did I do?
And I never gave it a thought, and I apologize, I won't do it anymore.
If there had been an explanation behind it, so at least I'd have known what direction we were headed in, it wouldn't have been so bad. But
Yeah.
you've been involved in a couple different get-togethers and things that are supposed to fix and have directions being fixed. And unfortunately, just like I tell all of you, and I'm no different, I mean, you're a new board, but I've told the old board the same thing. It only works for a very short time, and then it goes to hell in a handbasket. And I told you that last time, that was gonna happen, and you said, we won't let it.
It wasn't a good board last time, and I think you have probably a brand new board that may run.
When we were talking about problems, and I ended up, well, I shouldn't say I, let me rephrase that. You guys ended up as a board, not you guys, but the board ended up in several of those executive session bullshits that Brent couldn't be part of and couldn't have any knowledge of, or couldn't have his say in.
But you can.
And I can. I've sent you, since the state of Maine law, I'll send it to you, and I'll send it to you. And it will read, you'll read it and you'll understand. Those executive sessions do not work the way that it's been working in here. Am I wrong? You've read it.
Nope, you're right.
So, they're not gonna happen like that anymore. I've got nothing to hide. My transparency is as clear as the fucking day is long.
Well, didn't happen tonight.
I will say, no, you,
Right.
and I appreciate it. You, all of you, whoever was part of that, whoever made the decision on that, I appreciate it, because it weren't gonna happen anyways, because I was going to say no. I'm gonna set it right out here in the public. I had nothing to hide to anybody. If this place was full, if it was packed and the doors were open and they had to sit in the gym and I had to have a microphone, I would still talk just like this and explain to you what's going on for the public to hear it. Because nothing should be a secret. Nothing. Plain and simple.
I agree with you. I mean, there are certain things, but that's just confidential stuff that you can't.
That's a different story.
But other than that, if they're talking about somebody and there's a story behind it, I want to hear what their side of the story is also.
Absolutely.
So that's just how it is.
That is not an issue. There should be 2 sides to every story.
There
But
are-
you guys ought to be able to hear them. And when you go to executive, guess what? You don't. You get one side. In there in that room, or everybody's asked to leave. The door gets kicked. I stand out there and go, here we go again. And then I walk out. And that's happened so many times in here. Brian, I'm sorry, but am I wrong? How many times that I've been called into
You've been
executive?
speaking, I've been trying to think of how many times we've talked about the fire chief, and I honestly don't remember too darn many times.
You guys had 4 meetings just in the last episode that we had where you guys wanted to work out the problems.
Right, and
Between it. There was 4
Do we not have a
executives
meeting
just
set up
for
to do
that. There was 4 executive sessions just for that.
No.
Yes, it was.
I sure don't remember.
After the 4, I got pulled into the 5th one and sat down here and was told I could talk and say my piece. Then there was a 6th meeting, and that meeting was her and I and the 3 all sitting here, and everything was going to be worked out. Everything was going to be figured out. Everything was going to become copacetic with us all, like a big happy family. And then I looked at you afterwards and I said, this won't last a couple of weeks, I guarantee you. And that was the end of that
You
meeting.
get a better memory than I do.
I do have a good memory. You'll never question my memory because it's like a freaking trap. I don't forget. That's the problem. That's why I'm dangerous, I guess, because I don't forget. And if you have a question and you need the answer, I will get it. Now, like I said, I have no issues with you guys whatsoever. I appreciate what you do because that job sucks. But I'm going to tell you right now, so does mine. I have a lot of responsibility, more than you guys even know. If you want to sit down with me someday, I will tell you what my responsibilities truly are. Because, do not take this wrong, Cindy, but right here in the public, you don't know. You don't have a clue about half of the legalities that I am liable for. And I tell you right now, I take it serious and I do my damn job well. And this guy right here is sitting here every time beside me because he knows that if I can't do it, guess who's next? Guess who's in line? And I don't know, honestly, with this kind of shit, if he'll be here to do it. And I'm not blaming him one way or the other. I wouldn't. We got 35 years each, right here. 70 years between the two of us for this town. If he said to me, oh hell no, I wouldn't blame him a bit. If he decided it ain't worth it. But you guys need to understand, there is a lot to this job. Sitting over here on this side and looking at you guys once a month and giving you a report and giving you the numbers and honestly trying to make it lighthearted about we hit 100%, we hit 99%. Those are the happy things that I tried to throw out there. But every one of those calls, 14, 20, it don't matter how many a month, every time that pager goes off, my liability level goes right to here, start to finish. And there's a lot behind it, and I have to make the right calls. I've got to make the right decisions. I have got to make everything right so this town doesn't get in trouble. Been doing this for 3 years now. Was AC with Drew Wiltbank for 2 years. I learned a little, nowhere near enough of what I needed to learn. But I stepped into this position and said, I'm not letting this town fail. I'll do it. 3 years later, here I am still learning. And I'm not going to tell you for a minute that I'm not. I have more influence from fire chiefs around this area that help me every day. What do I do in this situation? What do I have to do to cover my ass in this one? How do I make this work so the town's not in trouble? Them are the questions I ask these guys every single day. Because I'm not going to make a decision until I know the answer. And I'm sure Kylie probably told you that when I speak, if I'm asked a question and I speak and I'm right, I ain't backing down. I will tell you and I'll stand here. I'll dig a hole into this tile with my heel because that's how sure of myself I am. If I don't know, I will look at any one of you and say, I have got to get that answer for you and I will have it for you within the next half hour because I've got guys that can answer it. I've got fire chiefs out there that are just unbelievably smart. And that's what you need. You need people behind you. You need a team. Even if they're not on yours, you need a team.
Yep, absolutely right.
My team is over there in that building, and the guys that are around me every day that we work with, for, and help. And them are my guys. That's my team.
Hey, I could say this, I'm glad you got that off your chest.
It makes perfect sense. You either take it and
I'm
like it,
still
or
sitting
you
in the living
don't.
room tonight.
I'm sorry. You don't want
We
me to,
appreciate you.
He needs
if
it.
you don't want me to
appreciate it.
rant,
You
I
don't
won't rant, but I can tell you right now that
Well, he wasn't
it
ranting, he
builds
was
and
venting.
builds.
He was venting. I'd rather have you vent than blow. Just saying.
Eddie knows me, he's known me a long
Yeah,
time.
you just got it right. That's all he was doing.
That's all I was doing.
But on a serious note, he gets paid what, 15.9?
15-9.
15.9 for a year. You're not gonna find somebody, if he wasn't here doing that 24/7 for 15.9.
You know something, and I've been listening to county commissioner meetings and all of this, and you know what, they're absolutely right. So this cat that has done this study was in Lincoln or somewheres, I think it was Lincoln, or it was north of Lincoln, and he stopped in Lincoln to get something to eat and pulled into McDonald's like 9 o'clock at night. McDonald's start pay is $18.50 an hour, and if you go in and you work at night, it was $2 an hour differential, they're $20.50 an hour to start. And people that come to save your friggin' life,
Right, and what'd you say it breaks down to, $8?
For me,
$8?
$7.58
but
an
it's
hour.
true,
Right,
but it's
so-
true,
That
but
much.
the,
You put in way more than
So
that.
if that doesn't,
No.
if that doesn't say something or enough to give, I know that there's policies, there's rules, but the
But-
appreciation factor has to be somewhere,
but it's,
I mean,
but
you
it's
know what I
all,
mean?
right, but that's what things are coming to.
Well, it is, and that's why people that work what used to be considered good jobs are leaving and going to McDonald's, going to, because they're getting more money an hour.
Well, and that's
You
the
know
whole
what I'm
thing.
saying? It's insane.
And his study of all the fire departments up north was that out of all of them, there was, oh boy, 675. And out of that 675, 75 of them had multiple jobs, so that knocks it down to 600 because they counted one, whoever
Yep,
the roster says, but that same person worked for 3 towns.
absolutely.
So by the time that it got down to the nut cutting, there was 20 people that were available to respond to an emergency call in all of northern Maine in a single day.
Yep.
That's
Do you
alarming.
know how many you got here on an
That's
average
alarming.
day?
That's crazy.
Honestly? Two. I know you knew. That's the truth. On an average day. That's excluding me, who plays pumper guy, hose jockey, command, Penobscot's fucking right-hand man, and whatever else has to be done. And I'm gonna tell you, trying to control a fire, run a truck, keep people's lives safe, and doing that as a one-man team is not
Yeah.
easy.
No,
And then still try to keep in the back of your mind as you're looking around and other guys are coming in from other towns, and now guess what? My liability has gone up twice as far. Why? Because I've just pulled in other departments on a mutual aid
Absolutely.
agreement, and now they're mine.
Oh, nobody will ever take anything away from you, bro.
Every
That's
one of
for
those
sure.
guys are mine,
You
you
know?
know? And if you break it down to what I get an hour
Oh, it's, yeah.
and what I do,
No, I agree. I agree.
now I can't sit here and tell you I put in 40 hours a week, but I'm gonna tell you, and you see it, you live right over there. You probably
Oh,
can't,
yeah.
you can't peek
Oh,
your head out the window without
yeah,
seeing
yeah,
my
yeah.
truck sitting at that fire station,
I hear you.
and you hear me coming.
I hear you.
I try to do that on purpose, just to make sure that I wake you up. I love your Ed. But it's the truth, you know, and 2 or 3 of my other guys are working 3 different departments right now.
Yeah. Yeah,
They're
it's
retired,
terrible.
but they need the extra money, and they cannot afford not to.
Yeah, it's terrible.
And we fought for this last raise that we just got under a scale factor because my guys, they deserved it. They deserve more. And it starts here and it goes here. I wanted it here, but I couldn't do that in 1 year. And I know that. I'm smart about that. I'm not asking for more than what this town can afford. But I have to ask for the town to support my guys with a little bit of money to say thank you when they're the ones running their asses into a burning building. And guys, and again, this is not personally to you,
Save
but you
lives.
guys are sitting home sleeping, right? 1 o'clock in the morning, if there's a house fire somewhere, unless it's next door, you guys could be sleeping and have no idea that it's even happening except for him. That son of a bitch knows when every call goes out, I don't care what time of day or night it is. He knows, he'll send me a text and go, are you guys okay? And Brian, I appreciate that so much. You do that every time we have a call, you ask me, are you and your guys okay? I have got so many of those on this phone that you would blow your mind. That man right there checks on me every single call, and including medical calls. Did it go all right? Are you doing all right? You need anything, Chief? That shit means the world to me.
Oh, why wouldn't it?
That's what we do in lieu of pay, so.
I'll take it, because I don't ask for it because I can't have it. And I've already accepted that fact. I can't make that.
We do give hugs if you need it.
Well,
Once in a
I
while.
can get those from a lot better looking.
It can be like that.
Oh, boy.
But enough. The 175 is gone. I'm done. You guys, next year, when it comes time, I'll let you know and say find somebody. I'll give you a couple recommendations of guys that I know that do this shit too. And I'm pretty sure that probably their bill will be a little larger than mine.
Yeah, sorry that it came to this, I guess.
Well,
I am, personally,
I know you are, and I believe that.
yeah,
I totally believe that.
yeah.
No question about it, and I would assume that you guys probably have somewhat of the same feeling, and it is what it is. I mean, 175 ain't gonna break me. You know what I mean?
It's another lobster roll for me.
Yeah. It,
Just saying.
it cost me probably $30 in fuel, because the price of fuel's gone up. And other than that, little wear and tear on my tractor that sits there.
You mean it cost Kylie $30?
You know, I don't care who it costs. We live in the same house, but she has her name on it, and I will gladly show anybody, if you have to ask for it, I will show you whose name is on that paper. I'm not hiding nothing from you. I told you that the first meeting. It's not fucking, nothing about lying to you.
Never thought it was.
So, it's, you won't hear from this again. How's that? You have my word. And Sean, next year, I'll let you do the hiring.
Well, I think that's all we had on our docket here. Do we need to handle these warrants, or there's
I'll
something?
put them on the next
Okay.
agenda that we do on the 29th, or the 1st of August.
I got something if you got
Yeah,
a
absolutely.
chance there. I mentioned this to Cindy, right away clearing on roads.
Yep.
Sumac is growing in wicked on at least my road.
Oh,
And
I
it's
noticed, I
starting to
noticed
hit
that.
my truck, so it'd be
Yeah.
nice if we could get some right away cleared done.
Yeah, we're on that.
Yeah.
I'm not sure when it's gonna happen,
Yeah,
but
Bad over there.
yeah, it's getting real bad.
Yeah. took a ride around town the other day, and it was.
Which road are you referring to?
Mudgee.
Yeah.
Yeah, really.
Go down around the shop corner, come up over the first knoll and look on the
Yeah.
right side, and that is just,
Or even when you're coming out to 9.
Yeah, it's
yeah, the 9 side is getting horrible
I think
too.
there's like 3 or 4 spots where it's growing right in.
Yep. Yeah.
I'm surprised with the amount of accidents on that corner, anything's protruding into the road.
Yep.
Yeah. The other part of that, the chevrons are hardly noticeable now on that corner too. It's pretty simple reason.
Yeah, well, I think a couple of cars have taken a couple out, haven't
Yeah.
they?
Yeah.
There's been 2 real bad ones on that
Yeah.
corner. On the Mudgee Road here, what, in the last 4 months?
Yeah.
We've had 2 at least.
Well, probably would deserve guardrails, but I know how expensive those are, so.
I have brought that up a couple different times while we've been standing there saying, what would it take to, I don't know what.
It
that
would cost
works.
$15,000 to put guardrails around that corner.
Really?
You'd have to drive it in deep too. 'Cause they'll be tested.
Yeah.
It's
By the
just-
time you get them down and in, they'll be level with the road.
That's the problem,
Oh, that's
it's
bad.
so damn deep right there off that corner. I mean, you'd have 10-foot poles, posts in the ground before you could even put a guardrail up that would be high enough to actually block a car off.
Yeah.
I mean, it'd be insane.
Yeah, we're gonna do something on that corner, I think, because it's a road in there too, and we got a bunch of stuff on that road that's gonna be taken care of.
If it had better shoulders, you could probably put abutments around it and then mark them, and I don't know
Thing
what
is,
kind
you're
of.
gonna put guardrails there, then you're not gonna be able to wing snow back far enough, then you're gonna have freeze issues on that corner.
Yeah,
So
that's
it's
gonna
kind of
run right
double-edged
down.
shit.
And
Yeah.
when people do go off it, they'll flip over the guardrails and.
I hope not, if they are,
Just
they're
don't
there.
stand in, slow down like a speed.
Oh, you can keep it sideways till you clear and stuff it off in the woods after.
Kurt Giles, school driving,
That's right.
drifted through the corner.
I've
and didn't worry
drifted
about
many
it.
vehicles around that corner.
Yeah,
Me too. For
so,
many
years
years.
ago, when yeah.
Alright, so we're all
What are
done.
we gonna do, culvert?
Oh, yep.
Right.
I wrote that in at the top and I never got back to it.
So we have a culvert on the Chapman Road that needs replacing, and the, road is giving way on the end of it, and I got a quote.
So there's a 3-footer, right?
It is.
Yeah.
But the quote was more than I can approve, I didn't bring it, but it was significant, so I,
And there's never been an issue with that 3-foot culvert where the exponential rains that we've been receiving, so if a 3-footer, cause it's corrugated, it's
Yeah.
galvanized culvert, so putting that smooth bore in there
Yeah, that'll
at the
pull
same
that
size, right, it'll flow better, but, yeah.
so,
You have enough coverage over it for plastic?
There is, yeah, and, but the only thing is that you couldn't increase the size, you couldn't put a 4-footer in there, cause then there wouldn't be enough to sustain protection.
So because of the quote that I got and the amount it is, I have to ask about putting it out to bid or to go with the quote that I got.
Okay, but we don't know what the quote is.
Well, I just soon not tell you until you make the decision, but it's significant. Over $5,000.
Fortunately, I think it says that if it's over,
Well, I thought it said 5 and it must have got changed because the policy says 15 now. But I believe it used to.
so the better question is what's our time frame on getting it done? It's probably more important than
Yeah,
the actual price, cause it's going away pretty fast.
yeah.
Who's it, do you call Rick for culvert pricing at all, Whitmore?
No.
How long is it gonna take if we put it out to bid?
It's gonna take a week and,
We're gonna have to meet again, so we're a month to even get it on the books.
yeah,
How bad is it? I haven't seen it.
It's significant.
it'll
Do you
make
know which
whole
one it
road.
Okay.
I can't think where it is.
I make a motion that we go with the bid. You're gonna tell me how much the bid is?
I will, it's $10,000. Yeah,
Is it the one on that shot corner where the stream runs through
Yep.
right there?
yeah.
We've got no choice if the road's coming apart.
But you need to keep in mind too,
It's
the culvert is almost half of that price.
That big stream that runs right there.
Yeah, so you put culvert's gonna cost
Yes,
you
yes, right there.
$5,000.
Yeah, just bought a couple of the camp road. They were not cheap.
Does that include pavement back?
Yep, so I make a
12
motion
foot path.
that
Yeah, your
we
number,
go
second.
with the bid.
Okay,
All in favor? 3-0.
2-0.
Yeah.
2-1.
Okay.
Yep.
He's just practicing.
Yeah, I'm just going along with it.
Kurt pulls the string.
That's what he's doing over there.
That's funny.
Alright, so that's it. I make a
That's
motion
it.
that we adjourn.
Second.
What time is it?
It is 5:52.
Looking on.
Yeah,